Ed, Christian, and Chris, thank you guys so much for sitting down with us. And really, thank you for being willing to give us a little perspective about what it's like to be an ICE agent. I'm going to go down the line, and each of you maybe tell me about your background and why you each decided to get into federal law enforcement.
So I'm Ed Centeno. Thank you, Lara, for giving us this opportunity to be here. I was born in New York. I grew up in Puerto Rico and joined the military at 19. And I crossed over 4 law enforcement agencies in 25 years in the military. And I decided to join ICE because it was a sense of serving the people and continue to serve in a capacity that I can help the community and help this nation that have gave me many opportunities.
My name is Christian Moreno. I'm out of the Baltimore field office. I started out in TSA, the Transportation Security Administration. Went to Customs and Border Protection down in San Ysidro, California. I just knew in ICE that they just do deportations. Little did I know all that we did, all that we do every single day, and how exciting this career has been so far for me.
I'm Chris Sandoval, born in El Paso, was in border towns a lot, and my father was in Border Patrol with the Air Marshals and with ICE. So I kind of looked into getting with ICE. I have an uncle that worked with Border Patrol. Really, the main thing I wanted to do was serve my country.
Let me get a sense from you all what it's like to operate as an ICE agent in this current climate, because unfortunately, it really has been pretty hostile to you guys.
I think the dynamics and environment, Laura, that we're working in is sad. What we've seen in California, Los Angeles, New York, it is, in my opinion, unacceptable. We have to do our job. We raise our hands to defend the Constitution, and we're enforcing the law. So we're adjusting as we see what's going on in our country, but it's saddening my heart, especially when you serve in combat and come back and see your country so divided.
It has been very sad to see how we're villainized, the names used towards us. I mean, just doing this right now, I mean, I had to talk to my family about it and talk to them and say, hey, this is something I believe in, something I think is important for us to get our stories out there and let the American public know we're humans. We got a job to do. We're just enforcing the law. We're not making up the law. It's sad, but you know, we just keep pushing through it.
Chris, were you concerned at all about coming on and kind of having your name and your face out there?
Now, being in Houston, Texas, it's not as bad as other parts of the country. We do have to worry about, you know, watching our backs. You know, people film us for only one reason, is to try and push other people to do harm on us. I mean, there's no other reason why you would take a picture of someone and post it somewhere, other than to put them on blast. And I mean, it's really kind of unfair to where we're, like Ed said, we're doing our job, we're serving the country. But sometimes I see, you know, people rioting and stuff, and you're hurting your own community.
Well, Ed, you know, you are the one, I think, among the three of you who's really probably been with ICE the longest. And it feels like half of the country, the media would have you believe, is against you guys. Have you ever seen anything like this?
No, and I hit 30 years of service with the government in September, and I crossed over 4 administrations, and I have never seen it, Laura. And I think the projection of what people see who we are is wrong, and they have the misconception of we're going after people and families, and that's not true. We do targeted operations. These cases are vetted. We do going after national security threats, public safety, and we're making our community safer. So never seen it in my years before, but we have to change the language, and we have to change the dynamics and the culture. And
I know that, look, you guys are doing the best you can as agents and ICE officers to protect your families. This is a job that requires that sometimes, you know, they're in danger as well. But Chris, you actually have had a family member who was killed by an illegal alien.
Yes, my second cousin, her husband was killed back in the early 90s. By an illegal alien. He was put in his car and told to just drive him to the detention center, and someone didn't check him correctly, but he had a pistol on him and killed him. And you know, that was a big, that affected a lot of people in my family. I always remember it. I always remember the guy's face. That takes effect on a lot of people and a lot of families.
Let me ask you about morale. What it was like during the previous administration, Ed, and what's it like now under this commander-in-chief?
I believe that the morale is high. We're allowed to do our jobs, and that is awesome. In the past administration, I was at the border in 2023. I saw how we were allowing so many thousands of illegal aliens into the border, unvetted, and it's true, I was there, so I can talk about facts, and we're gonna get more resources with the new beautiful bill that was just signed. So we're excited, we're excited that we're allowed to do our job with the resources and get better resources.
I mean, just going from the last 4 years, it was mostly desk work, unless you were in a unit that you were out enforcing. And now it's just we can finally work. We can finally do what we want to do, and we can be law enforcement officers and enforce the law.
And Chris, when you're there on the ground, you actually tend to have a lot of support from people within these communities. They want the bad guys out of there. How important is that for you guys as ICE agents to have the support from the overall community?
It's very encouraging. It's the silent majority is finally able to say, yes, that's what we voted for. That's what's happening. So the motivation is there. The morale is up. That's helping. That's putting us on the streets. That's letting everybody know we're doing something and we're doing what everybody voted for us to do. And
it sounds like from all of you, I get a resounding thumbs up to the one big beautiful bill being passed.
Better vehicles, more officers. It's going to be great.
More resources.
Okay, well, it's coming soon. It's coming very soon. You see these Democrat lawmakers out there, Christian, who are seeming to encourage the rioting, the violence against ICE agents. How much responsibility do you feel falls with these people who have a platform, who are actively encouraging people to commit violent acts against agents to prevent you guys from actually doing the job that you're supposed to be doing?
Just in my own personal experience, I was sent on a temporary duty assignment in Boston where we were conducting at-large operations and targeted enforcement. There was activists that would be called out for a suspicious vehicle, which would be one of our vehicles. They come to us, they knock on the window, they go through this whole spiel, and they pretty much burn us, right? And I've had conversations with these activists before, and I've said, hey, how do you know that I'm not sitting on somebody that's a possible terrorist or some, certain gang leader or something, and you're just kind of blowing my cover here. And is this what you want for your community? And they would say, we just feel very strongly about immigration and we want to, make sure everybody has their due process. Well, this is part of the due process. I mean, we should be able to enforce immigration law, conduct these arrests. But then they want to go ahead and step in the way and prevent us from doing that. And they're empowered by a lot of these politicians. And it's just, we still get the job done, and we're going to get it done. Yes. You're not going to stop us from doing it.
It's a great area when actually lawmakers in Congress actually are encouraging these people to go after us. I believe in the First Amendment, and you can express yourself all you want, but when you are enforcing as a Congress member or woman or senator to go after us, then you're crossing that line. We should not be afraid of doing our jobs. I raise my hand to defend the Constitution, and I'll die for it. That's who I am. And I know my partners are the same here.
There have been a lot of folks who have made such a big deal about the face coverings, as though there's some shame and you want to hide your face. What's the reality of the situation?
It is scary, Lara. We deal with a lot of bad people. A lot of people think that we only do administrative immigration. That is wrong. Most of the criminals that we get on the streets, they have a rap sheet, Interpol notices, homicide, murders, but people only think that we are arresting because of immigration. That's not true. And that's how we change it. And that's the reason some of us decided to cover our faces. It is scary. Social media is a madness out there.
I actually have a recent story of an arrest that I conducted. It was a father and a daughter in the car. The daughter was, I believe she was about 16 years old. And, he was our target. So we went ahead and conducted the arrest. I did not have a face covering on. Up until then, I just didn't do it. And the daughter went ahead and recorded me the whole entire time, posted it online. We take him back to the office and we fingerprint him. Turns out he's been here in the country for, I believe it was over like 10, 15 years. He's got a rap sheet with convictions for a drug, I think it was drug trafficking or something like that, a prior deportation. So he's been living here under a different name. And I don't get to tell my side of that story. All the public sees is just what they see on social media with my face covering down. and them going ahead and saying, hey, that he's a bad guy, he's arresting, you know, that girl's dad. I'm never really going to be able to get my full story out there until right now.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.